Okay, so we are going to paint raindrops on the window today. To do this, you'll need acrylic paper, a selection of brushes, a palette knife, and some paint. You'll need a colour of your choice. I'm going to mix green today, or you can just go for black and white. Everything I do today will apply no matter what colour choice you are using. So let's go. I'm going to take my mop brush and my palette knife. I'm going to mix up my colour and then I'm going to paint my background in. I'm going to paint using green today, so I'm going to mix a nice amount of green paint. Perfect, now we have our green. I'm going to add a touch of black to it and a touch of white to it. I'm going to grey it up a little bit. You don't have to do this if you don't want a greyish background, but I do, so feel free to follow along if you like. A little bit of black, maybe a bit more than that. Let's get mixing. I'm also going to take a section of this colour just underneath and add a little bit of white to it. I'm going to play around with light and dark areas in the background. Again, you don't have to do this, but I just want to have a bit of fun today. So we've got some lighter colours there. Even going to go in and do this again, but with a little bit of black. Maybe I'll just place this here. And using my brush, I'm just going to tap into whichever one I want. This is going to be for the main background, and the black and the lighter colour, that's just going to be little flashes here and there. So I might just tap my brush in whenever I want to hit a dark or light moment. This is going to get very messy, I can tell already. Okay, let's take our mop brush, let's give it a bit of a wet. Don't worry if you don't have a mop brush, you can use any brush you like. I just prefer to mix my backgrounds and get a nice smooth blend with a mop brush. You'll notice my paper's vertical because the brush strokes are going to be vertical, because it's going to give us that impression that rain is falling down. I told you it was going to get messy. So let's just tap into our colour that we mixed without too much light or too much dark in. And let's just start vertically painting that in up and down wherever we want that to sit. Like so. I'm going to go more in the centre with this. And now I'm going to throw in a few of these light moments. Like so. And I'm just very roughly painting this in. I'm not making it a completely smooth blend because I want us to see them brush strokes. So it gives us the impression that yes, rain is falling down. Let's tap in some black now. With some low value, it's not completely black, but it near enough is. I went very dark with this. And we're going to get some nice little moments of dark in there as well. And let's tap in some light. I don't want too much dark, maybe just a fraction. And maybe our colour again. Now this is your painting, so please feel free to just make your background whatever style you want it to be. Paint it however you want it. Put your lights and your darks in wherever you want them to be. Have fun with it. Just make it fit you. Okay. We have some background. Maybe I'll tap in a bit more light here and there and just gently pop these down. maybe some in the middle. Now we've done our background, and we'll just touch up that little bit there. What we want to do is we want to dry it off. So you can either go and make a cup of tea and come back to it, or you can get the hairdryer out. It's entirely up to you. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so now that it's dry, I've taken off the masking tape. Please make sure it is dry. Take your masking tape out, because what we're going to do is we're going to create shapes using our masking tape where we don't want rain to be. So you know when someone writes in a window and it looks like, well, it looks like someone's wrote in a window, or the raindrops falling down and it's caught all the raindrops on its way, so it looks like it's just got a little clear path where there's no raindrops. We're going to use a tape to do that. So you can go ahead and watch what I'm going to do. Or you can do your own thing. Make up your own word or something like that. I'm going to do a variety on mine. So I'll play this on fast and you can watch me and have a go. Also, before you stick your tape down, just make sure you take the tack off the tape so it doesn't rip your paint up when we pull it up. Okay, there it is. I know, aren't I just the sweetest? So you can write whatever you like. I just went for the classic I heart you. I actually didn't do just the you, I did the you, because I don't know, I just went a bit further. What we're going to need now is a toothbrush, some white paint and some water. All you're going to do, we're just going to get the raindrops on that we're not going to paint singly. So these are just going to fill the page for us with ease. So we're going to dip our toothbrush in water and tap a little puddle on the side. Then I want you to take a big scoop of your white paint and give it a mix into that water. Make sure that all them little particles that you see there breaking up, make sure that they're nice and mixed in, so it's a nice smooth paste, like so. So it's going to be a little bit runny, but it's not crazy runny. The more water you add, the more transparent your paint will be. So as you can see, when I've mixed it in, I have a lot of paint on my brush. Please do not use this like it is. Let's just give that a wash and a dry before we begin using this toothbrush. That's better. Okay, now let's get the tip of the toothbrush and just give it a little bit of a wiggle in the water and make sure that we cover them tips of the bristles there. You can even tap it if you like. Once you've done that, if you've got lots of painting, just tap it to the side and it'll fall out. And what we're going to do now is use a toothbrush to ensure that we get lots of raindrops. So we're going to aim our toothbrush wherever we want the rain to fall, moving our arm up and down, left and right. But as we do that, we're using our finger here to pull from the front to the back. There's many ways you can do this. This is just the way I do it. Let's stick that down, being very cheeky. Okay, here we go. Let's get these raindrops on. I'm going to fill the page like crazy. And have fun doing this. This is a great messy little thing to do. Don't worry if you get any big blobs. We can always paint over them later because we're going to put raindrops on after this. Okay, there we have it, an overload of raindrops. Now, I'm going to wash my finger. I'm just going to dip it in this water, as well as my paintbrush, and just give everything a bit of a clean. Now at this point you can take your tape off if you like, or you can leave it on and take it off at the end. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to leave mine on for now as we paint the raindrops in. I'm really excited. So what we're going to need for this is a darker version of our colour choice and a lighter version. That is all you need. And a bit of white paint, but we'll save that till the end. So I'm actually going to use this that I've already mixed up. So if you have a colour like this, go ahead and use that. For the lighter version, I'm going to take a scoop of white and a scoop of this green that we mixed earlier and give that a mix, like so. Once you've got your darker version and your lighter version of your colour, it is time to get painting these raindrops in. And this is super simple and really effective when we do it like this. So I'll paint one so you can see what it's like, and then we'll do them all together. I'm just going to take my small paintbrush here, give it a bit of a wet, twizzle them bristles together so they're nice and sharp, and then taking the darkest paint, and you don't have to do these one at a time, I'm just going to do this so you can see. You might want to do like a backwards C, I guess. It depends which direction you want your light and your dark. I'm going to have my dark on the left, but you can change that around. It doesn't have to be on the same side. So as you can see, I've done a little C there. And then using this lighter colour, just a fraction of it, I'm just going to finish that off, that circle or whatever shape that is, like so, and meet them in the middle. Now with this lighter colour, I might just fill in any areas that I want a little bit lighter in that raindrop. And I might just slightly blend that in around the edges of the dark area. And using a clean brush, I might just blend them just to smooth them out a little bit. But I'm still keeping in some of this dark and light around the edges, like so. As you can see, this has been blended in a little bit now. And then for a final touch, if you like, you can add just a little speck of white paint where the light's really hitting that raindrop. Maybe it's going to be down there, like so. It gives it that 3D effect, I guess. And again, you can blend that out a little bit. I think I went a bit heavy on the old white there, like so. So that gives it 3 dimension, like so. So let's do that a few times and then we'll do it together. So I'm just going to, again, take my dark paint and apply the shape of the raindrop, wherever that might be, on to the paper. I'm just painting half the raindrop. As you can see, it's like a little comma mark or something like that. Then, using this lighter colour here that we mixed, I'm going to finish off the shape of that raindrop. So you'll have half dark, half light at this point. And with what's left on my brush, I'm going to actually go around the edge of the dark and blend that in a little bit. And carry that dark into the light area. So I'm blending the two together through the inner circle, if that makes sense. I'm not going around the outside of the edge. Hopefully you can see what I've done there. And then using our white, we can just go ahead and capture some nice light at the bottom of that raindrop, wherever we want it to be. Now we'll do a big running down raindrop so you can see exactly what I'm doing a bit better. So using my darker paint, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to just do this wiggly paint drop, like so. So all you need is your 3 values here. Values is just light and dark. So I've just put down where I want the dark to be. Now I'm using the lighter colour here. I'm going to pop down where I want the lighter colour to be. So at this side, and maybe it's might even intertwine at this point. It doesn't need to be one solid side. Like so. So I've got my light and my dark area. And now with what's left on my brush, I'm just going to use that to blend and soften the darker side. And just soften them up a little bit, really. That's all I'm doing. Keeping some of them nice lines in nice harsh lines. Some of the lines are quite nice, but softening the majority, like so. So once it's all softened up, like this, and you're happy with it, don't worry if you've left some of it blank, if the background's peeping through and there's no paint on top. That's nice because it looks like it's magnified when we have got everything else going on around it. We can then take our white paint and just thinly catch any areas where we might have that light shining through a little bit more prominent. And on these big ones, you might have a few little moments of this, like so. And that is how you can paint raindrops. That is just one of many ways. And I'm going to go through and do a million of these, but I'll put some music on and we can do it together. Okay, now we have our raindrops. So what we're going to do is take this tape off and then emphasize all this beautiful lettering, all these drips that we have on our painting. Oh, how cute is that? I love it. Okay, so now what we need to do to emphasize the lettering, if you want, completely optional, is using our little tiny brush again and a bit of white paint, or your highest value there, the lightest one we mixed up earlier. You can just do a few dots around the lettering here and there. And these are just like bigger specks of rain that are maybe sitting on the edge. But again, totally optional. And you probably don't want to go around every single letter, but just here and there. You might just want to catch some moments of some little specks of rain. There it is. We have a beautiful painting here where you have effectively painted a raindrop and made it look three-dimensional, and we've got some lettering going on in the window, and it's super simple, super easy. The more you practice it, the better you'll get at it. Just keep going, have fun with it, do different things, add different colours, see where you want to go with it and where you want to take it. Maybe you'll find a different way to paint raindrops. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.